Part 9. Face Off. Colton popped off his helmet and threw it to the ground. He sat on top of the four-legged beast and took a deep breath. Still alive, he thought. He reloaded his last clip and patted himself for more grenades, but there were none. He scanned the area for Chavez's shotgun, but it was nowhere in sight. He looked up, wondering how far Alea and the Overseer were. Then something landed behind him. He turned to find a giant, pale gray creature with blood-splattered, meaty bones draped around his body and face like armor. It was the same creature from the Red Stream. The bones covering the creature's face were cracked. In one hand it carried a large bone that was sharpened at one end, and in the other it carried Jackson's severed head. The creature tossed the head to his feet and growled. Shocked, Colton barely ducked as it swung for his head. Colton fired a couple shots. They cracked more of its bone mask, but it didn't hit the mushy face behind. It threw something at Colton, which he sidestepped, a smaller weapon made of 3 sharpened bones tied together. The creature threw another one, catching Colton in the same shoulder the four-legged beast had stabbed him with its claw. Colton cried out in pain as the impact knocked him into the wall. Colton bolted for the steps, firing a couple more shots. The creature yanked him by the leg, slamming him into the cave floor. "Fuck!" he cursed, coughing up blood. He struggled to his feet, and before he could react, the creature kicked him. He slammed into the wall halfway across the cave. Colton gasped, pain igniting in his ribs. He rolled over on his back, trying to see through blurry eyes as blood spewed from his mouth. He screamed as the creature dug his bone blade into his shoulder. It let out a howling roar as it hoisted Colton upon its blade. It jammed the blade into the cave wall, pinning Colton against it, then turned to retrieve its other weapons. Colton slipped in and out of consciousness. For a moment, he was back in the compound, getting a massage from Maria. But when he opened his eyes, the creature was making his way back to him. His arms were numb, but he felt something in his hand. The creature came in close to kill its prey, putting one of its 3-boned weapons up to Colton's throat. It snarled, getting so close that Colton could feel its breath. Through blurred vision, Colton spotted a hole in the creature's bone mask. He wedged his pistol in between and fired. Green meat chunks and goo spread in all directions as the creature's brain exploded from the back of its skull. It dropped to the ground dead. Colton fought through the pain as he pulled the large bone blade from his shoulder. He sat on top of the dead thing, spitting out blood and mucus. He bandaged the hole in his shoulder, gripping his ribs, fighting the urge to pass out. He checked the pistol. Only a few shots left. Then headed up the spiraling stone steps. Part 9.